Hello guys, I'm fixing my washing machine. As I'm fixing my washing machine, I thought I might actually share some of what I'm going through. So basically, this is the bottom of the washing machine. I've flipped it, I've like let it sit on the side, and this is the bottom, giving me pretty good access to the bottom of the drum. And this guy right here, this guy is a pump, is a centrifugal water pump. Helps you push the water or suck it away from the drum and push it into the wall, whereas it seems gravity alone is not enough to actually help drain the water out of the clothes during the spinning operations and so on and so forth. So it's a pretty interesting design. This is, I believe, what is called to be a shaded pole motor. So let me talk a little bit about this. So basically, these are two electrical magnets, and those are the poles. They're shaded poles. The reason why they're called shaded poles is that the rotor is inside here, and this is the permanent magnet armature right here. As you can see, the bolts has stuck to the permanent magnet, and now it's going to be difficult for me with one hand to get it out. So you have this guy right here, and it's shaded from the poles. It's pretty interesting because you have the electricity and the magnets sliding over this plastic tubing hollow part, and they are shaded, meaning that they are not they're isolated. So the electric magnets are away like they're outside the closed system, the closed piping system of the washing machine. Now, one side effect of this arrangement, the fact that it's shaded pole, is that it's very low efficiency, and it tends to heat up quite a lot as it's doing its work. So it's not a 100% duty cycle kind of motor. It's more like for operating for short duration. Now you can see that the shaded poles of my original pump motor is kind of worn out. All the laminates have rusted and stuff. It's very interesting because I was able to get this entire assembly of this one from Dira, from the hardware market, for like 10 dirhams, like $2, and I was able to slide the shaded poles from the new motor over this assembly from the old motor. Unfortunately, this didn't work, and my suspicion is that the bearings inside are kind of worn out, and it seems that also this one is sort of bent. So it took the shaded poles, it took the electric magnets from this one. I took those one out. It took the more effort to actually move this guy, and I think that this guy right here, which I believe to be the parallel of this one here, is the temperature thermostat. It has been cutting off. This is, I mean, I might be wrong here, but I just noticed that by plugging the shaded poles, the equivalent of this, from the new motor into the old assembly, the pump was not working at times when it was supposed to. It was working a little bit, then turning off. And I think it was kind of some sort of thermal shutdown because of the inefficiency of this part, the bearings, the worn bearings, and the so on and so forth. And the reason that makes me think so is that after the cycle finished and my clothes didn't dry properly, the shaded poles and the new assembly were quite hot, even though I was observing very closely the times during which this guy was turning on. It didn't turn on for as long of a time as I wanted it to. So what I ended up doing is that I actually had to disassemble the new, take out the equivalent of this part, which is the rotor. So this is the rotor, this is the pole, and they are both shaded, as we can see. So now I was able to incorporate not only the shaded pole but also the rotor. And in order to do so, I had to take advantage of the similarity of the gasket and everything else. However, the Italian-made washing machine had a special locking mechanism using those I don't know what you'd call them, like fingers or locking pins. So I kind of self-tapped into them with a couple of screws, and that's pretty much it. But otherwise the match is excellent. Even the electric connectors are matching quite well. Now if this failed, or I didn't get the control board, which is right there, to turn on this shaded pole pump as often as it needs to, then I think the next step I'm going to take is that I am going to bypass the board and connect the shaded pole motor directly to the AC supply, which means it's going to be working all the time. Now I don't think this is going to be a good idea, because as I said, those shaded pole motors are low efficiency and they tend to heat up, so they're not designed for continuous operation or 100% duty cycle. So I'm gonna see what will happen, and I'll report to you guys.